Apple recently released Creator Studio, which is largely a rebundling of apps they already had with a few new features. And so now Apple gets to charge a subscription fee for what has been one of the few professional-grade products left with one-time licenses. Along the way, Apple is finally taking advantage of its acquisition of Pixelmator Pro. As I discussed right here a little more than a year ago, Pixelmator Pro offers a few advantages over Photoshop, but full fat Photoshop still has the upper hand. So Adobe's safe, right? No, it is not. Where Pixelmator really shines is in its command of photographic development. It is just plain easier to use and in certain regards more powerful than Lightroom or its equivalent Camera Raw. Most Lightroom users won't be quitting Adobe just yet, but I swear, I could sit down with the Pixelmator team, show them 5 basic changes they need to make, and Lightroom, no kidding, on the Mac would be dead. In this video, we'll be focusing our attentions on Pixelmator's Color Adjustments panel, which is available over here on the right-hand side of the screen, and we'll see how it compares to the entirety of Lightroom, which is the least expensive photo development app from Adobe. Both programs are largely non-destructive, meaning that you can do whatever you want, no harm done, and you can change your mind anytime you like. Up front, Pixelmator offers Auto Enhance, which automatically adjusts more than a dozen options, all customized for the active image. The settings are unlikely to deliver perfect results, but they serve quite nicely as jumping off points for your own manual adjustments. Lightroom does that too, but it also offers this thing called adaptive color, which employs machine learning and is often more successful. Problem is, it only works with raw images, and even then, it does not reveal its changes. All the numerical values remain 0, so you don't know what Lightroom has done and what you need to do to make things better. It's hard to pick a clear winner, frankly, but here's my guess. Experienced users may rather stick with Lightroom, but casual users are likely to prefer Pixelmator. Lightroom can preview highlight and shadow clipping, meaning that you can see the points at which your lightest and darkest colors go flat. Being able to preview clipping is essential for gauging the quality of your modifications. Sadly, Pixelmator provides no equivalent feature, which is a huge deficit that experienced Lightroom users will not be willing to tolerate. That is a decisive point for Lightroom. Next, we have white balance. When working with raw images, Lightroom measures temperature, warm versus cool, in absolute degrees Kelvin, which may sound like the nerdiest thing ever, but it's how digital cameras and smartphones measure white balance as well. Pixelmator measures temperature as a percentage value, which is relative at best and arbitrary at worst. And so if you capture raw, then Lightroom remains the professional solution. Okay, so far Lightroom has the edge, but as we dig deeper, that edge disappears. For example, Lightroom offers these effects options, texture and clarity, which affect contrast around medium and big, thick edges respectively. Think sharpening / smoothing as measured in a range from crunchy to chunky. Pixelmator Pro likewise offers texture and clarity, but it does so selectively. In the midtones, the medium colors, the shadows, that is the darkest colors, and the highlights, the brightest colors, which gives you quick and easy control without the need for masking. In fact, if you're a professional, selective clarity is reason enough to check out Pixelmator Pro. Next, Lightroom offers denoise, which does just that. It smooths over the noise in a photo, that is, the random pixel variations, the grain, if you will, while maintaining detail. It's great. But again, it only works with RAW files. Oh, and I should mention, big old fat full Photoshop offers this additional thing called AI denoise. But it offers no controls, it's static, that is, you can't alter the results, and it costs premium credits. Pixelmator offers a splendid denoise option that works on all files, including JPEGs, and you can apply it as many times as you like. Plus, there's this thing called deband that smooths out skies in your JPEG files. Pixelmator wins this one handily, besting not only Lightroom but Photoshop as well, which should worry Adobe. Noise reduction should be low-hanging fruit for Photoshop. Now, don't get me wrong, Lightroom still has some tricks up its sleeve. For example, it offers generative AI that Pixelmator doesn't even try to match. Most notably, you can retouch imperfections and remove distractions using an AI-enabled remove tool, complete with 3 variations. In contrast, Pixelmator offers a repair tool, but it's not remotely generative. It's the kind of thing Photoshop offered 3 or 4 years ago. And so in this regard, Lightroom is the clear winner, with one irritating caveat that we'll come to in a moment. Another common operation when adjusting photographs is cropping. Both Pixelmator and Lightroom crop non-destructively, so you can fine-tune the results. Lightroom even offers a hidden straighten tool that lets you drag along a horizon to straighten an image instinctively. But here's something that really irritates me. In addition to Lightroom, there's this relic called Lightroom Classic. I know some of you love it, which is why Adobe keeps making it. But its cropping functions are totally different, down to the most fundamental keyboard shortcuts. I mean, seriously, Adobe, are you trying to make it so that we can't shift between your products without going, how does that work again? I'm giving this one a Pixelmator because it's one coherent program that performs a very basic function in a way that makes perfect sense. It's super flexible and you can zoom while using the crop tool, which absurdly you cannot do in Lightroom. Hey, real quick. I've been showing you how Lightroom compares to and is often bested by Pixelmator Pro. Are you going to use Lightroom anyway? Well, then perhaps you'd like to see how Lightroom compares to and is often bested by a program not from Apple, but rather from the exact same team at the exact same company that develops Lightroom, and that is Camera Raw. Again, that's Lightroom versus Camera Raw. If that interests you, I gotta say, it was a revelation for me. Then visit me at my Patreon, which is patreon.com/geeknow. And now, back to that full-fledged, easy-to-use application that costs just $1 a month more than Lightroom, Pixelmator Pro. Here's another one that galls me. Adobe used to pride itself on cross-product consistency, and now it's like the whole idea is out the window. You know how Photoshop offers that other AI feature, generative expand, where you make the crop boundary bigger and Photoshop invents more detail using generative AI? Well, so does Adobe's third photograph development program, Camera Raw. However, as I'm recording this, and this could always change, Lightroom and Lightroom Classic do not offer this feature. Let me review. Lightroom, Lightroom Classic, and Camera Raw. They all share a common purpose: to develop photographic images, and they all work a little bit differently, just enough so that any habits you develop in one program don't translate to another. Adobe, we do not need 3 out-of-sync programs to do the same damn thing. Now, as we discussed, Pixelmator does not do AI, but you can make the crop boundary bigger and fill the new area with the equivalent of old-school content aware, which is not great, but it's better than nothing. This one is totally Lightroom's to lose, and even when it catches up, as I'm sure it will, I'm still calling it a loss, because you can't ship shabby software and get a free pass when you finally fix things. Nowhere is Lightroom advertised as being a beta product, so another point to Pixelmator. Oh hey, and just for fun, here's a more detailed list for you longtime Lightroom and Lightroom Classic and Camera Raw users. There are a lot of items here, pause and read if you like, but as you can see, the red greater than signs, which represent the Pixelmator advantages, outnumber the blue ones, which favor Lightroom and company. Okay, so that list is really in the weeds, but come on, Pixelmator costs just $1 a month more than Lightroom, and it's designed to compete with Photoshop, and it does so in a much more modern and streamlined fashion. For example, consider this. For those of you who work with Photoshop, my denoise complaint aside, full-fat Photoshop is undeniably a much more powerful program. However, if we limit ourselves to color adjustments, Photoshop has an Achilles heel. For reasons that have built up and magnified over the many decades of the program's development, Photoshop offers a bunch of dynamic adjustment layers plus a camera raw filter that duplicates or negates many of those adjustment layers. That alone makes it very difficult for even seasoned users to know what to use when. By stark contrast, Pixelmator organizes color adjustments in one location without much in the way of feature overlap, which in my humble opinion makes Pixelmator easier to predict and therefore easier to use. Now, more than one of you may be inclined to remind me that Apple is hardly to be trusted in the arena of photographic software. After all, before Adobe Lightroom even existed, Apple released a product called Aperture, ceased development about 5 years later, flat out killed the product 5 years after that, and left its users high and dry. And the fact is, yes, Apple has a very checkered history that includes an attitude of what I would call arrogant dismissal towards its most devoted users. But if I might, for purposes of this discussion, that was then, this is now. Truth be told, you can run Pixelmator Pro on a MacBook Neo this year, all costs included, for about what you might pay for an annual subscription to Adobe's Creative Cloud. Only that Creative Cloud subscription does not include the hardware that you need to run it. So whatever some of you my age might be thinking for yourselves, you got a kid, niece, nephew, grandpa, Pixelmator and a MacBook Neo make way more sense. And if it makes sense for every other generation, what in the world are we doing? Anyway, what do you think? I'm hoping a lot. Comment below, and while you're at it, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'm Deke McClellan. This is Deke Now.